Oh man. Alright, I'm out here trying to get some fresh air because it's actually kind of a warm day today. There's still snow on the ground, but so I've been thinking about, once again, about my priorities and my goals in life, and the double-edged sword of that. Because for basically since I left my parents' house and I was disallowed from returning, I've been out here just trying to survive and being very, very stuck and being told that it's my fault somehow. When I was a kid, people asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would say things like, I want to see beautiful things and have incredible experiences. So something like an astronaut or a park ranger or like an explorer in Antarctica or something. Or I want to entertain people, make them happy, make them laugh. So like a comedian, actor, singer type of thing. It was never about money. It was never about money. But, the adults around me would say, well, if you want to do that, you got to have the money for it. You got to pay for the college, you got to pay for the training. You got to get your foot in the door in the industry, make sure you're worth their time and money. I was like 10 years old being told these things. I'm like, you're asking me what I want to do with my life, and I say all these things about, like, I want to make people happy, I want to experience things. And my grandparents, who raised me, their first instinct was to tell me, you don't have the money for that. Where are you going to get the money for that? I mean, they had the money to set me up pretty well, like pretty good in life, but my dad would send me money for the first couple years that I was homeless, and then he retired and he couldn't afford to do that anymore. I didn't live off of him, as some people like to say or think. I had multiple jobs throughout my adult life, and he would send me $100 here and there to help me out in between jobs, or when my job inevitably wasn't able to pay my living expenses. And he would get angry every time. And I'd say, I'm sorry, I'll pay you back when I can. I'm doing my best. And he would just be like, just angry. He'd always, give me money, but then he retired, like I said. But that shame associated with asking for help is still there. That was instilled in me at a young age. But like my dream jobs and my goals, they never involved money. It wasn't about money. It was about, what am I gonna do? What do I want my actual personal experience of life to be? What do I want to do for humanity and for people around me? And I was told, just get an entry-level job and start there, and then you can work your way up to whatever you want, because that's what my parents believed, the American dream. So I tried it. I tried it for a very long time. I tried. I got job after job. I worked every entry-level job that's available to me except for security, which I would never do because I'm not a fucking cop. I worked really hard. I worked my ass off. And this is what pisses me off about the people in the comments of my last video, saying that I'm just a lazy bum, or I'm a grifter, or I'm begging, or, you know, throwing Bible verses at me about how you don't get shit if you don't work. I worked, and I didn't get shit. What do you say to that? All of my money went to rent and bills and car expenses and other people. And a few little things. I never had a PC gaming setup. I bought all of my Steam games on sale. The vast majority of them I bought on sale. I spent maybe over the years maybe $300 on all of the games that I own. And I've always had these little laptops. I've never had a legit gaming setup. But I've always loved gaming. It's like one of my main hobbies. So I always try to find a way to do it cheap. Because I'm financially responsible. Because I know how to spend my money. But I'm not going to give up on the most basic pleasures of life, or things that I'm interested in, just because it costs money, or because it's more responsible to save every single penny and just torture myself. And those jobs I had, they were torture too. I mean, I pushed myself to the point where I had so many mental breakdowns, to the point where it ruined my ability to regulate my emotions even further than it was already. Like, those jobs traumatized me. That's what people don't understand. That shit is traumatizing. I have a neurodevelopmental disorder, which has been diagnosed, by the way. It causes my brain and my nervous system to be more sensitive. All of the sensitivity dials are turned up. So everything that you experience that is mildly irritating is excruciating for me. Bright lights, loud noises, people being annoying and careless and inconsiderate. All that stuff is more intense to my experience. And people aren't empathetic about that. They don't understand it. They think I should just suck it up and continue to torture myself, because that's apparently the financially responsible thing to do. And I got people around me telling me, you know, trying to give me advice with this YouTube thing, telling me how I can get big views, big sub count right away, play the algorithm, all this stuff. That's not what I want to do. Again, people don't understand my goals. I don't need a lot of money. I don't need a huge audience that's paying me a whole lot of money. I'm trying to attract people to my channel that care about the experience of poor, homeless, disabled people in this country, and want to hear what my story is like, and want to see me and help me improve my life and improve my situation. I will put in the work. I will renovate a whole ass van. I'll find some way to get my license, right? I will put in all of that work. All I need is the money. And I'm trying to give something to the community in exchange for that money. I only panhandled for like a couple months because, A, it was the only thing I could do to eat. Because, again, I had lost my food stamps. And food banks aren't it. Food banks aren't it. First of all, I don't have a kitchen. They like to give you canned food that you gotta at least microwave. I don't even have a microwave. I don't have a way to heat anything up. So it's all granola bars and cookies and cans of fruit. So if I want a meal, if I want to feel good about the things that I'm eating and feel like I'm being nourished, then I gotta buy it from somewhere. But I only panhandled for 2 months because it felt so dirty. Like, I'm not a capitalist, but I don't like begging either. Like I said, that shame of asking for help and asking for money is still instilled in me. Because in my memory, Most of the years that somebody was giving me money, he was pissed off every time he did it. And it was very clear that he didn't want to. Even though he loved me, even though he still to this day loves me, it still pissed him off every time he had to give me money. How am I supposed to feel about panhandling when that's my experience, right? So I didn't want to do that. That's why I went to posting online. I literally did everything in my power, in my very limited ability and resources, to avoid outright begging. I'm trying to give something back. And if you're watching my video and you're thinking of typing a criticizing comment about my attitude or something, consider what you're getting out of this video. If you don't think this is worth your time, then you can go watch another video. But those aren't the kind of people that I'm trying to attract to my channel, and I don't understand why, but my audience, the YouTube algorithm has recommended me to a whole bunch of older people, middle-aged people. My audience is mostly 40 to 60 plus years old, for some reason. And a lot of you guys are nice, but that age group is also where all of the nasty comments come from. And I don't want those people watching my videos, because those people aren't going to give me money. They're not going to support me. They're not going to learn from what I'm trying to put out in the world. In my last video, I made that video about people like that. So obviously it's going to bring all of them out of the woodwork. And I really hope that that kind of thing doesn't happen going forward. But again, like, if you're not here to support me, don't make my life any harder. Just get the fuck out of here. Just go. Just go away. You don't know me. You don't know how much work I've put into just surviving this terrible economy. I don't want to blame anybody, least of all myself. It's a systemic issue that has brought me into this situation. And when people come into my comments or go up to a homeless person or go online in any way or in public in any way, and they defend a soulless system over the actual souls of people that are experiencing the issues of that system, that's awful. Like, why are you doing that? So I worked, I had so many different jobs, I made so much money, and it's all gone. It's all gone. And the vast majority of it was not spent on me or my goals. And now that my goals are different, I'm getting weird looks, I'm getting criticism. You know what is a responsible financial decision for me right now? Not seeking housing, because housing is expensive. It costs money. So if I can live in a cheaper way and still get my needs taken care of, then that is the financial decision that is the most responsible. Doesn't that make sense? These people telling me to get a job so I can get on my feet, get an apartment. I'm on my feet. Look, there they are. I'm on them right now. Have you considered that maybe I'm actually perfectly happy with my position in life and all I need is a little more money so I can take care of my needs? And that I am posting online and sharing my experiences so that I can give something back, so that I can earn that money. I feel that given the age group of my audience, a lot of people watching these videos do not understand that this is a job. This is a job. If you don't want to give me money, you don't have to. You can just move on. But eventually I will earn enough money to live just from sharing my experiences online. I also have a gaming channel, which I hope to earn some money from through gaming, through entertaining people, which was always my goal, right? My goal is no longer to have a nice house, to have an apartment, white picket fence American dream, you know, entry level, work your way up, career. That's not my job. Or that's not my goal anymore. That's not my goal. My goal is to live as cheaply as possible so I can opt out of this terrible system that has disregarded my disability and pushed me to the bottom of society. And you might say, like, well, you know, if you want to opt out of capitalism so bad, why don't you just go live in the forest and stop spending money altogether? Why do you want to have a van? Doesn't that, you know, contribute to the economy? Well, if people thought that it contributed to the economy, they wouldn't be so pressed about me doing something else instead. And, I really respect people that can go out there and do that. That can live that full hobo life, just hopping rails and living off the land and living off of whatever people give them. I respect that, but that's not something I'm going to be able to do because, once again, I'm disabled. I'm having a hard enough time living in my car. It's an easier time than when I was employed. Significantly easier, but it's still a hard time. I can't get approved for disability. I tried. For 3 years. Applied multiple times. Appealed multiple times. Contacted attorneys. None of them will take my case because they don't think they'll win. And I can't afford to just pay one to try. Because autism is from birth. Right, so there was no date of onset that happened after the date that I started working as an adult because I didn't know I had autism yet. So I started working because that's what people were telling me to do. And I almost killed myself multiple times. So I figured that's enough grounds to get approved for disability. I even got my autism diagnosed in hopes that that would help my case. But since I was previously able to work, that means that I must be trainable, which means that I should just be able to continue pushing through whatever stress and health issues that employment causes me. And because of my turbulent life, moving around and being homeless and without an address for so many years, I don't have the medical records to prove that I have been disabled while I was working. And I'm 28. Which is too young to just get approved. And it's too young for the lawyers to feel comfortable taking my case. So I either have to wait until I get cancer from these things, or wait until I'm like 45, and then maybe they'll approve me. So I'm not going to work again because that would be a death sentence. Not those types of jobs anyway. When people offer me jobs, I'm not going to accept them. And if they'd like to think that I'm a lazy, fucking no good bum that doesn't want to work and doesn't want help, then so be it. No, I don't want to work for you. I want to work for me. And that's what I'm trying to do. When my goals shifted and I realized that I didn't actually need to do all these things that people are telling me to do, that there is another path that I can take, I thought, that's amazing, that's incredible, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to spend as little money as possible because money is so hard to get and so easy to get rid of. I'm trying to be financially responsible. So I don't understand why people are coming to me telling me to spend even more money, but also spend less on the things that make me happy and comfortable. I mean, the amount of times I have people telling me just to spend less money on gas, as if I have some other way to heat myself. Or, get around, or charge my electronics. Go to the library. Well, they close at 5. They're open during the warmest hours of the day. So how is that going to help me? Anyway, my point here is that my goals are different now. They're different. And, I made that video about people that think they know what's best for me, savior complex type of people. That was just one type of person that I mentioned in that video, but that's what I'm talking about, is that people come to me giving me advice about, the traditional path or whatever, or how to get on my feet, and they don't ask me anything about what I want. They approach me immediately thinking that they're going to help me, and if I refuse, then I'm wrong somehow. They don't approach me with curiosity about my situation and my goals. Or if they approach me with curiosity, it's only about my situation. And then they jump into, well, here's where you can get a job. Here's the job fair. Here's the shelter. Like, give me a second to tell you that I tried all of that and I hated it and now my goals are different. If you want to sincerely help me, if you really, really want to help me, then you will understand my goals, why I have them, and help me achieve them. If you want to know what my plan is, I have a video on my channel titled The Van Plan. I'll try to link it if I can remember. That's my plan. That's my financially responsible plan. Spend as little money as possible, avoid buying into this terrible housing market until it gets better, if ever. I just keep to myself, take care of myself, share my experiences, talk to people online, entertain people. That's what I want to do. And I'm tired of people telling me that I have to do it some other way, because clearly I don't. I'm doing it this way right now. And that path that people say I have to take doesn't exist anymore. So, yeah, I'm a little pissed off today just because of all of the nasty ass comments that I got in the last video. And I mean, I just realized that my audience really isn't what I wanted it to be, what I was hoping for. I was really hoping for, other like young autistic ADHD people to come and, talk about their experiences with it in the comments, instead of talking about how I'm just lazy and a hippie and I need to get a job and all this stuff that I already fucking tried. I already tried it. What more do you want me to say? Try harder. Try harder. Shut up. So yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed today, all right? I was pissed yesterday too. I didn't get much sleep. And I drank too much coffee this morning. Like, people really think that just because I have things to complain about and I am not ashamed about complaining about them doesn't means that, like, I don't have any goals, that I'm not going anywhere, that I don't have any plans. Like, people genuinely just make these assumptions. And I don't know why there's people 40 to 60 plus years old coming onto YouTube looking for struggling youths to harass. Like, who do you think you are? Genuinely, who do you think you are? Why do you think you know me? I'm just real tired about, people assuming things about me. People assuming that they know what my goals are or how much I've worked. Or that I feel entitled or indebted to society or something like that. Yes, I do believe that society should take care of me. I do deserve something for all of the work that I put into my life and into, retail jobs, call centers, customer service, food service, hotels, housekeeping, factories, manufacturing. I had a job for, I think, 6 months where I was hunched over a microscope with a little laser that could weld tiny little pieces of metal. And so I would align little pieces of metal and I would weld them, and these little pieces of metal would go into people's hearts to open up their arteries and save their lives, or into their brains to plug up an aneurysm to save their lives. I was doing literally life-saving work. Maybe not the most difficult work, but it was skilled work. They had to teach me how to do it. I took a 2-week training to be able to do that properly, because these devices are so important. It'd be very bad if I messed it up. That's the work I was doing. That's the work I put into this country for 6 months. More jobs like that too. I had a job where I built parts for sewer systems. So if you got a toilet that flushes, might be because of me. You think I don't deserve a little money for that? They didn't pay me enough to live. All of the money that I got for that went to rent. So what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Look around. This country is fucked. The economy is fucked. I'm doing the responsible thing here. I'm doing the smart thing by opting out of it as much as I can and trying to stay away from all that expensive stuff. I want to stop buying fast food. I want to start going to cheaper like farmers markets and, grocery stores and buy ingredients in bulk and put them in a fridge and cook them in a kitchen because I'm an excellent cook. And for the majority of my adult life, I haven't had a kitchen to cook in. All I want is a van so I can put a little tiny kitchen in it so I can cook myself some food and save some money that way. Like, do people really not understand what I'm trying to do with this channel? Why do you come here just to harass me? Now, I do get plenty of nice comments. Not as many as the nasty comments, unfortunately, especially on that last video. Although a lot of people did come to my defense on that last video, which I really appreciate. People that understand, like I said in that video, there are true understanders out there that get what I'm saying. But it's those people that I want on this channel more and the most. Not all of these people that just want to come here and complain about how I'm complaining and how I should just do better without learning anything about my history and how much work I've put into this country and into my life. Do I sound entitled? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If you have gone through what I've gone through, had so many different jobs and not anything to show for it, now you're destitute and having to ask for people money online, having to panhandle and do anything you possibly can to get out of that because you don't feel good about begging, and then having people still come up to you and say you're fucking begging, and that you never worked, that you don't want to work, that you don't want help. No, my goals are just different from what you want me to do. That's all there is to it. I have intelligent goals. I have been in this situation. I have asked myself why. I've asked therapists why. And I got an answer. I got diagnosed with autism. And then I get people coming to my comments saying I don't have autism, but I have borderline personality disorder, or I'm just faking everything. How I look fine and I can talk and I can move around and articulate words, so, I must be able to work too. Those skills don't actually have anything to do with work. You don't need to be articulate and intelligent and well-spoken to have a job. In fact, those things are often detriments, because you're going to make people around you feel stupid without even trying. And when people feel stupid, they feel threatened and they start harassing you. I do not want a $700,000 home in Australia. I don't want to lift myself up above everybody else. I want to stay right here where I belong and spend as little money as possible, because that is the financially responsible decision in this economy. All right? Do people get it now? I tried college, by the way. That was also hell. It's very similar to working a job. It's stressful as fuck. Just applying and getting approved to the college and like picking your classes and shit. I needed a case manager for that stuff, and she didn't really help me. She just brought me to the college and was like, here's who you talk to. Like, yeah, she gets paid for that. So once again, to recap, I'm trying to get a van because it is a sustainable lifestyle for me, affordable lifestyle for me. I'm trying to work on the internet one way or another, whether it's gaming or vlogging or streaming, spend hours every week editing videos. I'm avoiding the housing market because it's too expensive. I'm avoiding jobs that are available to me because they are hell and they will kill me. And I'm disabled. I can't get approved for disability because I'm too young and I have a work history, despite having that work history before I knew I was autistic and disabled. Really, imagine you had some kind of medical condition, right, for your entire life, but you don't know, right? Like maybe your hip is weird, so every time you move your leg, it gives you like a stinging pain all the way down your leg. And you live with that your entire life, and everybody tells you that's normal. That's normal. Everybody lives with a little bit of joint pain. Everybody lives with a little bit of muscle pain. Just do some stretches, you know, but you do that stuff. Just do some stretches, take this pain medication. You do that stuff. You do everything they tell you to do, and it doesn't work, and the pain is still there. And now when you say that, people are telling you, well, you're just lying. It's not that bad. It can't be that painful. If you did everything that we recommended to help you and it didn't help, then you either didn't do it right or you're lying. And then you finally find a doctor that knows what's going on with you. You get it diagnosed and people still accuse you of lying. You have this validation that, yes, you have been in excruciating pain your entire life. And people still think you're lying just because they can't see the pain on the outside. Just because they can't see how much you struggle just to walk, or just to sit down, or just to take a shower, or whatever. And now the government doesn't believe you're disabled because you were able to work before. But you only worked because people told you that you weren't in pain. That's what I'm going through. That's what I'm experiencing. Please, please get out of my comments with the harassment and the bullying. I have my own goals, and if you weren't curious about that goals, then you aren't welcome on my channel. The comments are good engagement, and I'm sure it brought in a whole lot of people, but like I said, my audience isn't what I want it to be right now. And I don't know how much money I'm getting from the links in the description on each of my videos. I'm 99% sure the majority of the money I'm getting right now is coming from Tumblr.com and all the trans women and lesbians on that website, all the woke leftists that all these old people are complaining about. People that appreciate my fucking nose ring. And I live on less than $800 a month. If you can do that, you can give me financial advice. All right, well, that's my rant for today. To be honest with you, I don't like feeling this way. I don't like being so pissed off at people. But I am tired. I am tired. And I'm very disappointed that the algorithm has given me this audience that just wants to harass me. So once again, thank you to all the positive comments. Thank you to all the real supporters that really want to see me achieve my goals and that want to stick around and hear what I have to say. And thank you for watching, and have a peaceful day.